Live from the Export Beer Garden studio and brought to you by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda podcast for Monday, the 14th of October.
The Agenda podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Despite the fact that a lot of people have said to me there's not much sport on this weekend, we've got a lot to get to. A lot of upsets, and one in particular that we will get to in just a couple of seconds' time. But first of all, Lane, big weekend on the punt, but terrible results.
Oh, my God. I emptied my account over the weekend.
Yeah.
Thinking, some of them I thought were pretty safe, and I'm back to scratch. Yes. Not one of them came off.
So am I. A pile on top of, your NPC, your Heartlands, all that kind of stuff. There was also an ice hockey, a 6-leg ice hockey bet that came through from Joe Jury.
Oh.
And I generally trust Joe Jury on his ice hockey bets. So I filled my boots and it stumbled at the first hurdle. So, tough weekend.
Yeah, well, I should have known. And looking back on it, hindsight, I placed my NPC multi on the Wednesday before I went to Kawau because there's no reception there, so I knew I wasn't going to get. So I got my punts on early.
Great forward planning from you.
Yeah, I know.
You wouldn't have planned anything for the trip itself.
No, no shit, no. I got a lot of feedback about that as well. You've done no meal planning.
Yeah.
You've done nothing.
But my bets are on.
Yeah. But I completely overlooked the fact that the All Blacks had released 15 wider squad members to return to their NPC teams.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, looking at the results, you're like, oh.
That's the difference,
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. We'll get to that. How was Kawau Island, by the way?
It's great. I love Kawau Island. Those who don't know where it is kind of north of Auckland, off the east coast. It's off Sandspit. It's about a half an hour ferry ride from Sandspit.
Oh, yeah.
It's got no roads on it. It's got you got to have your own, water supply. There's no main supply there.
Yep.
There's no sewage system. There's hardly any cell phone reception in most of the bays.
Yep.
And it feels like you're on Great Barrier or some other kind of far-flung island because the only way you can get stuff in is by boat. There's no road network or anything. So the ferry is the postal boat as well, so people wait for their mail. There's the mail run you can go on. It's cool. It's good and great for kids because you can just unleash them and do minimal parenting.
No natural predators.
Yeah, no, just the weka. So many fucking wekas.
I know. I'm pretty sure weka are endangered, but there are certain places you can go, certain islands, where they're just fucking everywhere. I
tell you what, I did a great bit of parenting where I got all the kids together. There's 20 kids. A lot of them are a little bit older, kind of the 12-year-olds weren't so much into it, but any kid under the age of 8, I sat them down and said, $1,000 cash, bring a weka to me. And they spent the entire 3 or 4 days absolutely terrorising the wekas of Kawau Island, but did not get near one. They were convinced they could get one. They set these traps out there, boxes and bread and bits of string tied to sticks. One other kid just went full rogue on his own, he had mud on his face like Rambo. He was diving into bushes. It was a great distraction.
Yeah, great weekend-long distraction.
Yeah.
That would have got me as a kid. Fucking it'll just speak at me now.
They're fucking quick when they want to be, though.
Oh, yeah. But they're not scared of you. They'll come right up to you.
Oh, they come straight inside and start nicking your food.
Yeah. This is like Rottnest Island, which is where the quokkas live, off the coast of Australia, off the coast of Perth there. And I went over there and had a wee look around all the buildings and houses and stuff. They've got, those little toddler gates that you put across doors? They've got those, and it's to stop quokkas. So you can leave your door open but stop the quokkas from getting in.
Quokkas have got those dumbass smiles, eh?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they're kind of,
the cutest thing on earth. And because no natural predators, they're not scared of you, so they'll walk straight up to you. My cousin had a stag do on Rottnest Island. He got on the piss, forgot to shut his little quokka gate.
Oh, no.
Woke up in the morning, just quokkas everywhere. They're all in his bag, up on the bed.
I love the unofficial name for Rotto. Go get Blotto and Rotto is the unofficial. Take your boat over and go get Blotto and Rotto.
Yeah, it's quite cool because there's a whole little town set up over there. Supermarket, everything. Yeah. It's all set up for tourists. And they tell you not to touch them, but fuck, they're the most pattable thing you'll ever see in your life.
They're so cute and cuddly.
Yeah, they are. And they come right up to you.
But good ockers never kick quokkas though, eh?
No, that's right.
There was a spate of quokka kicking going on for a while.
I mean, they are essentially
a fluffy football.
Yeah, and they're on a tee already. So it's like, if the aliens came down and said, you've got to slot a conversion 20 metres out, any animal, you're going a quokka.
Yeah, okay.
Or a bat, I guess.
large hedgehog?
Well, I'm just thinking the bat can fly.
Oh, yes.
But yeah.
It's got to fly through the post, though. What if it goes off to the left, back to the tree?
You just got to kick it hard enough so that it doesn't have a choice. And you're on brekkie this morning as well.
Yeah,
How was
yeah.
brekkie this morning?
I'm filling in with Hodaki. Feel like, it's like me and you are speed dating Jeremy Wells.
Yeah.
And, C gives the best blowy. Because you're on tomorrow.
Yeah.
We are literally 10 metres away from their studio.
Right now,
It's
yeah.
like we're the last people standing in the bar.
I know,
aren't we?
100%.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I know I've said it before on this podcast, but I was so excited. Well, who are they going to get? Oh, it's going to be the old Havo. They're going to have all these different people back there. And then I was like, they're like, yeah, it's going to be you. I was like, oh, fuck, I've heard me.
South Island freezing working nights.
Yeah. It's just classic dudes in the workplace. We have these brilliant ideas, and then we're like, oh, what are you actually going to do? Just probably get the same dudes from down there.
Yeah, we talked desserts today because it's International Dessert Day.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so a lot of chat around Pav, just a waste of time because he doesn't really fill you up. Down to tongue punching sticky dates to tiramisu's to your brandy snaps.
Cannot believe tiramisu is not Japanese.
Yeah, no, it's Greek, isn't it?
I think it's Italian.
Italian. Oh yeah, it is Italian.
But I mean, don't ask me because I thought it was Japanese.
And a lot of discussion around French vanilla. And what's the difference between vanilla and French vanilla? I can tell you.
Wow.
French vanilla has got more egg yolks in it, hence it's that yellowy flavour.
Oh, okay.
Yellowy look.
Yeah.
Than your vanilla.
Couldn't tell you the flavour difference. That's controversial take. I don't like dessert.
Yeah. Okay.
If I'm out for dinner, I generally won't have it. I'll get another beer. That'll be my dessert.
We had a discussion too around who has dessert every night. Wells has dessert every night.
Really?
He has ice cream every night. I'm like, my kids do, but I don't.
No.
Grow up.
I'll have an ice cream every now and then if the missus has some in the fridge.
He has ice cream and Hershey's chocolate sauce every night. Like, is he bulimic?
That's a good point. Or is he lactose intolerant and just shits it all out straight away?
Yeah, true, actually. Could be that.
That's the first thing I think of when I hear a grown man having
ice cream?
having ice cream at
with
night.
Hershey's. At the time, he said he run out of Hershey's, and he was in the middle of the show. He's Googling where to buy the giant Hershey's chocolate sauce from. That's how obsessed he is. Anyway, International Dessert Day. There you go. Okay. So that was, I think we potentially might have shed a lot of listeners.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Fair enough. There's only one way to go up. From there. All right, I want to address it up the top. South Canterbury lost on the weekend. I couldn't fucking believe it.
Oh my God, this is 100% on you because on Wednesday before I left, we were planning how South Canterbury were going to get to
Wellington.
To Wellington because we were going to meet them.
We were going to fill Barnsley's fridge.
Yes, and meet them there. And I think he might have just said at the back of it, have I just cursed them?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I've been talking a lot about the Ramphilly Shield Challenge because I was so upset that they didn't get to have a crack last year. And yeah, at a certain point, I was like, I've talked too much about this, and it's starting to feel a bit of a curse.
Yes.
Although I would say though, I've been supporting them for the 5-year run, and they've only lost once. So
that's true.
I mean,
Mid Canterbury, wasn't it?
Oh,
done by. Could it be any worse?
North Otago probably would be the only one that'd be worse, but it doesn't get much worse, particularly on this podcast because it was Mid Canterbury that started the whole fuck South Canterbury thing. I've got some stats for you though.
Yeah, this is like couldn't have been scripted better.
Oh my God, I know.
For me, anyway.
Yeah. Well, and it was a penalty in the 84th minute that did it. First game at the new stadium that they got down there.
Oh no.
It's like you couldn't have fucking scripted it. When they make the Netflix doco, this will be a perfect but also heartbreaking final episode. And I got tagged in so many fucking. That's actually I got tagged in so many Instagram stories and shit. And in your Instagram DMs, the messages will show up, but then it'll have message requests, and those are from people that you don't follow that want to message you.
Yes.
And I was at a certain point on Saturday because I didn't get a chance to see the game. I saw that I had about 5 message requests. I was like, oh, fuck, I think South Canterbury's lost. And I checked, sure enough, fuck you, man, fucking suck shit, fuck South Canterbury, fuck this. There were people that were sending me videos that they had just filmed and they didn't post it anywhere, they just sent it to me. And the worst part is that most of South Canterbury would just have no idea what the fuck like this podcast is, what any of this shit is, and all they hear is my name being thrown around and people just saying, fuck.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, they'll be like, yeah, who is he? Why the fuck? Why is he? Anyway, so to try and make myself feel better, here's some stats. Over the that was the 5-year anniversary of their last defeat in South Canterbury. They finally lost again. That was 1,827 days ago, 39 straight games, a record-breaking run that began in the 2019, so pre-COVID. Their record run is reportedly the longest in New Zealand provincial rugby history, beating out Auckland's 27 consecutive wins between 89 and 91. There are some unconfirmed ones from like the war time. And
I think this is consecutive games. I think there's wartime ones is time.
Yeah.
So, because that's that trap that Joe Wheeler fell into with Southland.
Yeah.
Because they held it for the longest period because there was a war.
For like 5 years, they did not play rugby. Yeah.
But they still had the shield.
Yeah, but consecutive games. And, we talked to Nigel Walsh about, like, do you get speed wobbles when you're going like that? And he was basically saying, nah, you don't think about it. Because no one goes into a rugby game trying to lose.
He also, there's something about, we've talked to 2 coaches.
Oh, my God.
And both of them are lost.
And Brad Shields, who then lost that weekend as well.
Okay.
Well, hang on. Who was the last person to come on the show and then win?
David Nker.
David Nker.
Yeah, David Nker. He went out and won.
But since him, everyone that's come, if you come on the ACC's Agenda podcast, you will lose the next sport that you play.
Yeah. Ish Sodhi's been on, but luckily he wasn't in Sri Lanka.
Right.
And he's not going to India, so he's dodged a bullet there.
He has, but his team lost.
His team lost, that's for sure.
Oh, God. Well, I wonder if we could harness that at the TAB.
So we should harness it, but we should start interviewing teams that we don't want to win.
Whoever's playing Waikato this weekend, we should
interview them.
Get them on, and then you could potentially win. South Canterbury lost. At the end of this, we have received so many voicemails over the weekend, and they're all on...
When you say we...
I have received so many voicemails this weekend. It's one note. They're all on the same topic, so I've put them all together. So at the end of the show, we'll play them all out.
The montage, the super montage of fuck South Canterbury.
And the thing is, I had to put it together this morning as well. It's fucking hurt. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and talk NPC. So we've been talking about it. The National Provincial Championship Quarter Finals are on this weekend, and as you said, my first question that I put in there, you've actually already answered, but I was like, what happened? Because all of these teams were such short favourites.
Yes.
That one of the bets that I was going around tipping people off, particularly on ZM on Friday afternoon, was just multi all the favourites up and you'll get $3.07. And I was like, that's a sure thing.
It's exactly what the notorious pants man Joel Harrison did on Flavour as well.
Yeah.
On behalf of the ACC. This morning he said he's got egg all over his face. It's dripping off his chin.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad bet at the time.
No.
But upsets all over the place. The first one and the biggest one, Canterbury, who were $3.10 at the TAB going into this game, beat Tasman 62-14.
So there was a few All Blacks returned to that squad.
Yeah.
To that Canterbury squad. That's the only way you can explain that.
I mean, that is outrageous. Tasman have been humming this year.
Yeah. And then Taranaki beaten by Waikato by 1 point, 15-14.
And the story of that game is, well, obviously, Tony Finau, he got yellow carded because he fucking ironed Josh Jacob out. Man, nobody can kill a first five or a halfback harder than Samipeni Finau. So he gets 10 in the bin. And Waikato were just hammering Taranaki on their own line. You would have seen the highlight. So they go to clear it. They don't find touch. They swing it back into Cook Savage. And he snaps off a 45-metre droppy, which in the end was the difference. And it was like watching prime Francois Steyn on the high veld.
Yeah.
It just came out of nowhere, and in the end was the difference. It was sick. That was like highlight of the weekend. It was so nonchalant as well.
Yeah, and Aaron Cruden?
Yeah, Aaron Cruden is... Aaron Cruden, I actually just asked you as a joke before you came in. I was like, do you know who the first five for Waikato is? Like, yeah, Aaron Cruden. Do you want to guess how old you think he is?
I got a feeling that he's younger than I think he is because he's been around for so long.
Yeah, because he was in that 2011 World Cup.
Yeah. 37?
He is 35.
Is that it?
Yeah. He's 35.
Fuck. Was he in the All Blacks when he was like early 20s.
He
In the squad
was.
anyway.
Yeah. Because he burst onto the scene very, very early doors. And he was one of those dudes that everyone's like, oh, he's too small.
Yeah, right.
Then he had testicle cancer and overcame it all to blow his knee out in the grand final of the 2011 World Cup. But yeah, Aaron Cruden out there doing the damn thing.
Doing the thing. And then Bay of Plenty upset Hawke's Bay.
I know. So Bay of Plenty is officially the Bay for the remainder of the summer.
For 12 months until they play again.
Yep.
Surely.
Yep.
Surely, the original Bay.
They are the actual Bay. And then Wellington, who got a bunch of All Blacks back, and then they went out and humped counties. So a turbulent, tumultuous weekend in the National Provincial Championship.
So, yeah, they're all good, cracking games, though, like in terms of, apart from the Canterbury-Tasman game, which was crazy, 62-14.
Yeah. So now this week, I think it's Waikato versus Wellington and then Canterbury versus Bay of Plenty.
Oh, that'd be good. That's going to be really good. And I think Wellington were the top qualifier, so they get the home semi against Waikato. And look, I think the Chiefs are going to do the same as what they did to the Hurricanes.
Yeah,
Waikato
right.
against Wellington. They'll go down to the Cake Tin. All expectations on Wellington.
Yep.
Hopefully Sima Penifino doesn't get us suspended or anything for ironing a first five.
Well, it was only yellow. It didn't,
okay.
It didn't get upgraded in the end.
Okay, so hopefully he's available.
But yeah, God, you wouldn't want to be staring down Canterbury after that performance, would you?
No. Shit, no. And do we want to interview Brad Shields again?
Does Brad Shields want to be interviewed by us again? I'll reach out to him.
See what he says. Just say, look, we need someone to break the curse.
He won't be aware of the curse, so
he won't.
I think we just don't address it with him.
Okay, yeah.
But fuck, if he comes on and then Wellington lose this weekend, no one's ever going to come on the show again.
Never. I'm surprised they do already.
Oh, I know. Yeah, shocked even. The America's Cup kicked off over the weekend as well. New Zealand lead the America's Cup. It's a 1-7 series, and we're up 3-0. So they did 2 races on Sunday. They were supposed to do another 2 overnight, but not enough wind, so they've postponed one of them tomorrow. Anyway, long and short of all of that is they have been comprehensive wins, 40 seconds, 20 seconds, 50 seconds. But the highlight of the racing across the weekend, as it always is with sailing, it's nothing to do with what's actually happening on the boats and everything to do with dudes having arguments.
Yeah.
And so have a listen to this audio. This is Ben Ainslie.
Sir Ben Ainslie, Knight of the Realm.
Apologies. Sir Ben Ainslie, Knight of the Realm, talking to our very own Stephen McIvor.
Thanks, buddy.
So if you heard before that, if you go before that, Stephen McIvor asked the weirdest, not really a question, it's almost a statement about, how's the feeling on the boat? How fast do you think?
Do you still think that you can perform as well as the New Zealand team?
Yeah, because it seems to me like you
don't.
You don't. And Ben Ainslie comes back and there's this huge silence. And he goes, "Oh, I think that's just the Kiwi commentator coming out in you, mate."
Yeah.
And then McIvor comes back with, "Oh, mate, I'll take one on the chin on that one. Thanks, buddy." And called him buddy. Yeah. And to me, I think that's why he called him a fucking wanker. He called him buddy.
Right.
Thanks, buddy. No, I think it was basically the biasness of McIvor's. How did McIvor get on the commentary team? For a fucking start. He's talked his way onto the world commentary team.
Yeah. And he's been working on that one for quite a while, McIvor.
Oh, my God. He must have been working the angles on that one to get that because...
Hell of a trip.
I've watched a couple of the games. It was on our flight to Munich. They had America's Cup live. The Louis Vuitton was live on the screens.
Oh, yeah?
And there was some real shocking post-race interviews coming from McIvor as well on that.
On Lufthansa?
No, I was on Emirates.
Oh, yeah.
And there was some shockers on that as well. Just some real, just waffly questions.
I guess what he's competing against is people who commentate entire replays as if they were actually happening live. And so when you look at the competition that he had to beat out to get this one.
Well, they've got Peter Molester on the course as well. Peter Lester. He's on the course and he's got some chops. He knows what he's talking about. And then they've got a couple of others, but then he's like the ball by ball sailing one, and it is terrible. And tell you what, Ben Ainslie, it's a hot mic situation off it, but have a listen to it again.
Thanks, buddy.
Fucking wanker. No matter what happens now, that's the highlight of the
Sir Ben Ainslie, Knight of the Realm. Has he a Night of the Realm with the filthiest mouth.
Oh, definitely.
It's great because he also had a to-do with Blair Tuke during the Sale GP.
Yeah. I was reading some of the comments on social media about this clip because I was trying to find it. And it was just a lot of poems being like, this guy's always seemed like a bit of a wanker himself, Ben Ainslie.
Oh, I get it. I've got a lot of feedback the other way.
Oh, really?
Saying I like Ben Ainslie even more now after they call McIvor a fucking wanker. The thing is, America's Cup, I'm finding it very difficult to get into.
Because it's in the middle of the night.
Yes, I'm a wake up, look at the headline kind of guy now.
Yeah,
I've got no interest. I don't even know. And do I care? I'm struggling. I've got mixed emotions around do I care?
Because it's overseas.
Yeah, and do I care? Because I always cared when it was overseas, and if we won it, it returns to New Zealand. When we won in Bermuda, that was badass. Like, we're ripping it off the Yanks and bringing it back to New Zealand.
Yeah.
With this one, we win it. There's no guarantee it's coming, or if ever it's going to come back to New Zealand, it's going to go to the highest bidder so they can line their pockets. But
there'll be a 4-year court battle about it.
Yeah, it's like, so I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know. Go Kiwi. Pete Burling and Blair Tuke are great New Zealanders.
Yeah.
And I want them to do well and all that, but I'm fucking struggling a little bit to get in behind it because of the fact it's not going to be in New Zealand.
That's such a good point. It's such a good point. If it was guaranteed, it has to be in the Challengers country.
Yeah.
But this is the problem. It's such a rich guy sport, and they just love stacking the deck in their favour, and so that's what they're going to do. And so it's never going to come down here. It's too far away for everyone.
Yeah, I suppose.
So you're right. It does take the wind out of the sails. But I was talking to a mate this morning when I was going to the gym. I went to the gym this morning.
Did you go
quite often.
Legs or arms or chest?
It was back day today. Okay, back and biceps. And he was like, I told him, it's 3-0. And he goes, oh, shit, I'll have to watch the races when I get into work this morning. I was like, you're not going to watch the fucking replay.
Who the fuck is going to watch the replay?
Yeah. And he was like, I don't know. I just said that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that.
I don't know. I just oh, shit, I'll have to watch the replay. Then he was like, I'm not going to.
No, you got to watch the replay of McIvor being called a fucking wanker.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Look, we've teamed up with our mates at Hallensteins Lane to present the ACC's Best of 2024 Warriors edition. We want to know what the best moments were on and off the field for the 24 Warriors season. So over the past few days, we've been asking you to vote on the best Warriors newcomer, the best off-field performance, best try, best moment of the season, blah, blah, blah. You would have seen these across our social media.
I have.
Across the weekend. Ali Leatawa, Jacob Laban and Tane Tuopiki are all pretty neck and neck for taking out the best Warriors newcomer. But voting is open till Wednesday, so head to the ACC Instagram. Let us know who you think should win. You go in the draw to win a $200 Hallensteins voucher. For me, I think Tane Tuopiki has to win it because of that Panthers game.
Yep, I agree.
He basically single-handedly won it. The one I'm most excited about is Ali Leatawa, but just for the pure fact that he almost single-handedly beat the Panthers at Magic Round when everyone was out. So, but it's not up to me. Go and have your say on Instagram. And you could be in the draw for that $200 Hallensteins voucher. All right, we'll take one more quick break. We'll come back with yours, please.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
And as I mentioned at the top of the podcast, we received so many, and we'll get to a lot of them tomorrow, I think, that were about various different things. But the majority of them all came through on the one single topic. So without any further ado, here are all of the yours pleases addressing South Canterbury.
Great intro.
Yeah, g'day. Just seen that South Canterbury lost to Mid Canterbury. You are the cursed Mania, and fuck South Canterbury.
Don't worry about bloody G Lane being the grim mock. How about Mania? South Canterbury losing. Who are Taranaki's first Shield challenge next year, Mania? Fuck Northern Districts.
All right, you cock ticklers. Peter from Christchurch, former Ashburton College alumni and Hammers player. Just watched the mighty men from Mid-Canterbury absolutely rinse the Timaru Tossers in the semi. It was a torrid affair with more knock-ons than an AFL game until the Hammers punched home with that last-minute victory. Anyways, you seem busy. Fuck South Canterbury.
G'day G Lane, g'day Mania. earlier in the week, Manaia, you reckoned Mid-Canterbury weren't even in the semi-finals, but geez, they just tipped up South Canterbury. Hey, fuck South Canterbury.
Just a message for T. Lyle. Fuck the Marcos. Delicious shark fin soup for dinner on Sunday night. Up the red and blacks. Also Manaia. Fuck my Matty. He absolutely cursed South Canterbury. Hooroo.
Oh, g'day Manaia. Jake from Alex Station, Mid-Canterbury here. Hopefully G Lane's giving you the morning off work, fella. To say you put the Clappers on your own team would be the understatement of the century. How silly must you feel? You thought Mid-Canterbury weren't even in the finals, boy. You reap what you sow, boy. Hey, at least you won't have to worry about getting flights to the Naki for a shield challenge.
Still going. Is there more?
Maybe. I hope not.
It's like...
You thought I was done, Manaia?
Oh.
The whole district could be blaming you. Why is it all over social media? What did Manaia Stewart do? You can never return home across the Rangatato River, boy. Your face is going to be painted on that stupid yellow sheet over that stupid wallaby down there. It's going to be a kill order. Search and destroy. Anyway, I don't even need to say it, yeah.
It's like, you know, when someone leaves a job or they've been there for like 20 or 30 years and they get people from their past to leave an audio message and they put it together to emotional music and, you know, and it's always quite heartfelt and always quite genuine. And I love the fact that it's put together. It's just a bunch of people telling you to go fuck yourself.
That was heartfelt, though. They all meant it.
Certainly heartfelt, but...
There was glee in their voices.
Oh, that's good. That is good. And thank you all those people who took the time out to press that little talkback button, the little microphone on your iHeartradio app. Hey, look, keep them coming because if you know, in the weekend, if you were celebrating too hard and didn't get a chance, jump on down. If you haven't got iHeart, it's worth just downloading iHeartradio now and jumping on Agenda and jumping on that little mic button and giving it to Manaia because we could probably do montages all week.
I'm not putting another montage together. I'm not editing another montage together. We're gonna have to find someone else. I can't take it.
Oh my God, that's.
I thought for sure that one that was addressing Tony. I was like, oh, here we go. And he's like, oh, by the way.
Also, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Oh well, at least Tony took a little he copped a small stray, but not as much as you wanted.
Yeah.
All
right, thank you to everyone who sent that in. Thank you to everyone who listened. Thank you to South Canterbury for going undefeated for 5 straight years. We'll knock this thing on the head for a Monday, and we'll be back for a Tuesday episode of the Agenda podcast tomorrow. See you then.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda